This is going to be controversial.
Oh, you're gonna pick some.
Yeah, okay. I have a hot take, and here.
This is what this program's about, folks.
This is just my opinion.
Hey, of all people, I am the king of hot takes. I love hot takes. So go for it.
I don't hate this episode.
You just don't care for this episode.
No. I like. So this is a weird one.
Okay, go for it. Go for it.
I will explain. Allow me to explain. So my number 7 is season 7. Episode 21. 22 short films about Springfield.
Millhouse, do you ever think about the people in those cars? I try not to. It makes it harder to spit on them. Sometimes I wonder about all the people in this town. Do you think anything interesting ever happens to them? I mean, there must be thousands of great stories out there.
I can see not liking this.
This episode...
now, a lot of people have this in like their top 20.
This is often cited as one of the greatest episodes of all time.
Right.
This episode is mid, as the kids say. This episode has 2 moments that are absolutely like 11 out of 10 amazing.
We'll get to them.
Like 2 of the most iconic, memeable, amazing moments in all of Simpsons history, but they're in a 23-minute episode of a bunch of other just nothing, just meh. So
I completely disagree with you. I think the episode is amazing. I love this episode because it perfectly. What's brilliant about this episode, and I think why most people like this episode, is you get little. It's the first step, not the first.
I guess we should explain. Yeah. This is okay. So 22
go ahead.
short films.
Go to the plot.
Yeah, 22 short films about Springfield. This is the episode where we cold open on Bart and Milhouse on the freeway,
fucking with cars,
spilling mustard over the bridge, condiments as cars drive under them on the highway,
and they're spitting, I think, too, or something.
They're spitting.
They're being little kids.
Whatever. They're just being little kids, and then we have the setup is Bart saying, well, like Springfield's such a big town. Like, I wonder how many stories are happening or whatever. I don't remember the exact line. I didn't write it down. But the gist of the episode is like, wow, such a big town, Springfield. I wonder what all kinds of creative stories and things are happening with all the other residents and members of the community.
And what precedes.
And the camera basically like slides and floats almost like a faux continuous shot, slides and follows around the whole town to every single other sort of little well, it's called 22 short films, so it follows roughly 22 characters.
Basically what you get is 22-ish.
It's a gimmick episode.
You get 22-ish vignettes. Little vignettes.
I couldn't think of the term.
Little vignettes of moments following random characters in the town of Springfield.
Yes. Very
That's
creative.
The plot.
Yeah. I'm not shitting.
And why most people like it, including myself, is it makes the town feel alive.
It does, yeah. I understand that.
It's a cool concept episode of like, all of this is happening at the same time. So the town feels alive.
Yeah, because the camera's floating, so it's like this is all happening in one day. So the town
really feels alive. So I guess, I mean, go to your points. I'm very curious why this is a mid for you. I guess none of the vignettes click for you.
That's what I'm getting at. Is for me, it's like creatively as like a concept, as like a neat gimmick episode and all that stuff. I understand. Yeah, it's like, oh, look at how vibrant the town is and all the different little stories happening with all the characters. But I'll get into it. So the camera floats over to the Quickie Mart. We have Apu working. And his brother says, "Oh, you need to take a break." So then I'm just going to go through. So our first vignette.
Are you going to write down? Are you going to comment on every vignette?
I have a comment. So our first vignette, Apu has the "Party for 5 minutes" vignette. Do you remember this?
Yeah, it's hilarious.
Is it?
Yes, I like this vignette.
Meh.
He has to. The joke being that he is. Firstly, I like Sanjay.
Sanjay. Yeah.
Sanjay's a great. He's another underrated character. I think he works really well to compliment Apu. I love the idea. It's like Apu never takes a break, so it's like
just the time gag. But all this happens in 4 minutes.
He's like
with a minute to spare.
He dances. He like tries.
He runs out of this Quickie Mart.
It's hilarious.
Down the road to
to enjoy everything he can enjoy out of a party,
a
including
pool party,
sleeping with a woman.
Yeah. Gets drunk. And he has dances.
And he falls in the pool.
Like an 80s comedy, and then runs back. And he's like, with 1 minute to spare. Okay.
It's clever. I don't know. I like it.
Nah,
I like it.
Whatever.
Okay.
And then the camera floats over to the Simpson household, and we have Lisa gets gum in her hair. And it's like, oh, I've got gum in my hair. Whatever, meh for me. I'm like, okay, I
don't mind. It has a really good payoff.
Marge trying to get, I think peanut butter will get that out. Okay, yeah, that's fine. Nothing is like laugh out loud funny for me.
I like the idea that nothing is the Lisa one they keep cutting back to the Lisa one. They keep cutting back.
I'll get to that. I'll get to that. Yeah.
The initial setup, not much happens.
So nothing's
that's just the setup. That's the setup.
Yeah, nothing's really laugh out loud funny, at least for me. Like I'm just like, okay. Then we go over to Mr. Burns and Smithers on a bike ride through the park.
How do you not find this one hilarious?
Well, I'm gonna rant. I'm rating like I literally write. So
sorry, I'm gonna try not to interrupt. I know, but as you're going through, I do feel it necessary to. I need to comment when I find them funny.
So I've got a poo party for 5 minutes. Yeah. My ranking is just meh. Lisa,
look at the amount of time.
Lisa gum in the hair. My ranking, meh.
The thing
now
is,
we go to.
You had to do this because everyone's gonna call you out on this one.
I know. Yeah,
that's why I'm like,
I'm going to be burned alive.
Yeah, I'm like, no wonder you went this in depth because I'm like, you actually put a ranking, but for each vignette.
Yeah. Okay, Mr. Burns and Smithers bee in the eyeball sting, where he gets a bee in his glasses and he's like, if I get stung, I'll die. And he, of course, gets stung in the eye, and then Mr. Burns just kicks him and starts motivating him to ride to the hospital. This one, so pedals to the emergency where they immediately grab Mr. Burns instead of him. This is a good one.
Okay, that one got good. Okay,
and then this one's like a solid
that is one of the fun. I like the visual of them being on a double bike, but Mr. Burns isn't pedaling.
It just isn't pedaling.
So it's supposed to be like Mr. Burns is supposed to be getting exercise, but Smithers is doing all the work.
Yeah. This is the first actually funny one.
And there's a bee on my
glasses.
Because Mr. Burns has some funny line where he's like, Smithers. Our forward velocity, I can't remember how he says it.
Yeah.
He's like, horizontal velocity has decelerated. This is unacceptable. He's like, there's a bee in
my eye, sir.
If I get bit, I could die.
It's like, if I get stung, it will cause me to die.
Yeah, just die.
Yeah.
And then I like that as soon as he gets bit,
it immediately swells up and immediately
and the visual of Smithers like having like an allergic reaction.
His throat is like closing.
And kudos to whoever did the voice work for that part where he's like, It's so fucking funny.
And rather than pedal, Burns is just like, you know what? Pedal faster. Like, it just starts kicking him and like trying to motivate him.
And then they pathetically like just make it to the hospital and then hit the
collapse.
Ground. And then
the medical team runs out.
And then they see an old man. They grab the old man.
They grab the old man. And then
what a great
the camera floats and lingers on it for a moment. And Dr. Nick walks
comes
up
in
and he says, holy smokes, you need booze.
Yeah.
Throws money on it. This is the first like laugh out loud funny one. So I rated this one. This is a 7.5 out of 10 because it's like that's good.
Yeah.
Then the camera follows Nick into the hospital. So we have the vignette with Dr. Nick, malpractice committee. This is like Nick is going into a it's like, Dr. Nick, you're going to be in a lawsuit for malpractice.
Because one of the running gags is Dr. Nick.
He's a bad doctor.
He's a bad doctor.
Yeah. Oh, Dr. Nick's a bad doctor.
It gets a little old.
Yeah. It's an old shtick.
It gets a little old, Dr. Nick.
They've run this into the ground.
Dr. Nick Riviera.
Yeah. And then it's like, Doctor, there's a man. He's raving like a lunatic.
It's Grandpa.
We need a quack. It's like, okay. And then it's like,
it's Grandpa.
Then it's like parodying like I don't know, a hospital drama where it's like, don't worry, and like it's like da 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 da. Like Nick comes in and just starts recommending like ridiculous stuff, and Abe's like, now we're talking, and calms down.
Well, he grabs an electric cord and keeps shocking him.
Yeah, keeps shocking him, and it's like, okay,
it's stupid. Yeah,
I need someone to tell me crazy things. Like, and it's like, you need a hypoelectroleminator. Like he's just like making. It's like.
That one's
I don't know. I just rated that as.
I also don't like where I like when Grandpa is somewhat senile, but not too far. I don't like when Grandpa's just crazy.
He's just crazy. He's like brandishing a scalpel, like at
no. I think he has he has the what are those called? The stands for the IV bag.
Oh,
he has one of those. I think he's like. Yeah.
So whatever. Then we float over to Mo and Barney. sitting at Moe's Tavern, and Snake comes in and tries to rob the bar.
This one's great.
Yeah. So then Moe crawls behind the bar and he's like, I'm behind 3 inches of bulletproof glass.
Moe has this hidden little safe room, but it's like a safe crawl space.
Yeah.
And he can see out into the bar.
Huh, freeze, dude. Move a muscle and I'll blow this wino's head off.
I'm behind 3 inches of bulletproof glass. Do your worst.
All right.
No, stay out of there. Stay out of there. Oh, good God, no.
Yeah.
And Barney doesn't even move.
And then, so Snake proceeds to immediately open the cash register, and I was like, oh, no, oh, God damn it. And Snake's line is, say goodbye to student loan payments. So, say goodbye, student loan payments. I mean, and then he runs out with the money. 7 out of 10. It's
Clever.
funny.
It's clever.
It's like,
I like
that's
that.
solid.
And then Moe, I was like, I wonder how much air is in here.
Yeah, I wonder how much air is in here. And then passes out. Solid. Okay, whatever. That's good. That's my bar.
Yeah.
For we're talking about Golden Age Simpsons.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's fine.
Yep.
But again, like I've said, it's like,
I don't know. I haven't heard a lot of dips.
You want vignettes? We're going,
going.
like meh to okay to meh. Oh, okay.
Keep it going. Keep it going.
Okay. Then the camera pans over to Superintendent Chalmers visiting Skinner
And this is
for the steamed hams. This is one of the greatest moments in all of Simpsons.
Yeah,
this is 11 out of 10.
Yeah,
this is 11 out of 10.
This is the classic.
This is a masterpiece.
This moment is an absolute masterpiece.
Is like a masterpiece vignette. Is one of the funniest things in all of Simpsons.
It's Superintendent Chalmers visiting Skinner.
Well,
at his
I
home.
made it, Seymour, despite your directions. Yeah,
and it's basically everything is going wrong for Skinner.
Yes.
In this very important meal that he's hosting his boss.
Yeah.
And he's trying to cultivate a relationship.
I hope you're ready for an unforgettable luncheon. I mean, we don't. It's like so iconic at this
we
point.
We don't even need to go through everything.
I don't even want to go through it. It's like it's the one of the most well-known Simpsons jokes of all
moments,
time. Steamed hams.
Superintendent, I hope you're ready for mouth-watering hamburgers.
I thought we were having steamed clams.
No, I said steamed hams. That's what I call hamburgers.
You call hamburgers steamed hams?
Yes, it's a regional dialect.
What region?
Upstate New York.
Really? Well, I'm from Utica, and I've never heard anyone use the phrase steamed hams.
Oh, not in Utica. No, it's an Albany expression.
I see.
So I wrote 11 out of 10. This is a legendary, iconic masterpiece, a postmodern meme.
Yeah.
So then we go from that. Camera pans over to Homer with Maggie at the newspaper box, and he gets Maggie stuck in the newspaper.
Yeah. Yeah, I know exactly.
Whatever.
That one's okay.
Oh no, I put Maggie in the newspaper box, and now I can't get her out.
Yeah,
and it's like, oh, it's a mistake.
The only thing I thought was funny out of that was Homer's so Maggie accidentally gets trapped in the newspaper. What would you call that?
I guess a newspaper box, because you have to put a nickel in and it opens for a second, and then
whatever, the newspaper vending machine. It's it's like a box where you put money in, and then he looks in his pocket and all of his coins are all warped, and he's like, oh, I shouldn't have stopped at the railroad. So he put the coins on the railroad just to watch them get warped like a kid.
He uses Santa's little helper, and he's like, "Run for help, boy!" And he writes a note
in Cheese Whiz.
The dog immediately eats it and runs away. I mean, okay,
it's okay.
Now we pan over to Chief Wiggum into a Pulp Fiction parody, and this is again another one that pops up more and more through the episode. I'm over it.
You don't like the Simpsons Pulp Fiction parody? This is to me the other 11 out of 10 is this.
Nah, it's whatever.
It works so well.
Does it?
Yes.
It's just
they bring back Herman.
They're just blatantly parodying Pulp Fiction,
but it works. But it's clever. It's fun.
What's clever about it? It's just Pulp Fiction, and they're just forcing it into being it's Pulp Fiction.
Because
why would Herman ball gag them?
I'll tell you why it works. Because Simpsons.
There's no logical sense to that.
Here it is.
Oh, here's
Pulp
Fiction
is a fucked up adult movie, and The Simpsons is like a cartoon, kid-friendly show. So being able to adapt such a fucked up source material into the world of The Simpsons is why it's brilliant. That's why it works so well.
Yeah.
That's why it works. And,
Yeah.
and it's the way they did it too, with Butch being Snake and Wiggum being Ving Rhames.
Yeah.
It works so well.
I just had
and Herman, they bring back because Herman's a character that they forgot after the first couple seasons.
Yeah. I had a note here.
Oh, that would have been interesting. We should have done our least favorite side characters. Ooh.
I'd have to think about that.
I know.
Yeah.
It's too late now.
I put a little note here.
Dr. Nick.
Pulp Fiction parody. Fun in the 90s, but kind of stale now. I just like, okay, it's Pulp Fiction.
Keep going.
Yeah. So then we go to the camera pans over our next vignette, Senior B or whatever. What's that character's name?
Bumblebee Man.
Bumblebee Man. Yeah. So we have the Bumblebee Man parody, which is just him entirely in Spanish, coming home from work.
It's
complains
whatever.
to his wife.
Yeah.
A slapstick thing happens. Yeah. He ruins the house.
The idea is that his actual life mimics the show.
Yeah.
That it's basically a Three Stooges. It's all slapstick.
It's like, oh, he goes to work as like a slapstick parody character, but it's actually his life is just a slapstick parody.
Yeah.
And so he
ruins
the house. His wife immediately divorces and leaves him, and then the house crumbles on him. It's like, okay, yeah. Then we just cut back, more Pulp Fiction parody with Snake and Wiggum. Again, just more Pulp Fiction. Then we pan from that to Reverend Lovejoy having his dog shit on Flanders' lawn.
That's one of the dumbest. Again,
and it's like, there we go. Good boy. Good boy.
Again,
it's like, so he hates Flanders?
Again, going back to that, I hate that dynamic.
So he hates Flanders so much that he's going out of his way to have his dog shit all over Flanders' lawn.
It's a crappy moment.
Is this funny?
Yeah, I agree.
Is this funny right now?
Yeah.
Like,
it shows it's poor. Yeah, I don't like that. Yeah.
And then we cut. So Flanders walks, after talking to Reverend Lovejoy, walks around the side of his house and looks in the window, and we're back to Lisa with the gum in the hair. And Flanders is like, well, if you freeze it and you can break it off. It's like, we're still just doing Lisa.
I like that. So where I like that becomes funnier because
they keep returning to it. Because you think it's
because more and more people. Well, that has a great payoff too. So more and more people keep coming, bringing their 2 cents. They get involved.
Yeah,
being like,
because
no,
eventually
this
it's
all home remedies.
Frank and like Willie.
Well, the
and
idea
like all
of
these people
freezing the hair and hitting it with a hammer is complete nonsense.
Yeah.
It would just mash more into like.
Yeah, and then it's like obviously a meta style joke where it's like Willie, the Seaman, Otto, Hibbert, like Lionel Hutz, like all these people just like randomly appear.
Why would they appear in their window?
Why would they appear and suddenly have like a take for Lisa's hair? Then we cut to Cletus, the slack-jawed yokel one.
That's not a good one.
That one's just lame.
That one's lame.
Like that's just like we're filling time here.
Yeah. Cletus was always a character that.
What is this?
Yeah.
What are we fucking doing
Cletus was
here?
always a character that I thought was funny for like 20 seconds.
Yeah.
I think his funniest.
I don't think he's funny enough to fill a vignette.
I think his funniest moment is the Twisted World of Marge Simpson, where he has all the coupons. Because she forgot to put limit of 1 pretzel coupon.
Yeah.
And he just calls out all these kids. And I think that's like the funniest.
I don't think he's funny enough to even fill a fucking vignette in this episode of Vignette. So we have the Cletus vignette.
Some folks will never run around, but then again, some folk will like Cletus. Anyways,
yeah.
Well, that's the song.
I know. Yeah. So then again, we pan over to
Black John Yokel.
For a split second, I was like, he's gonna do it. And I was like, no, he's not gonna do it. You fucker.
Sorry.
All right. So then we go to Comic Book Guy and Milhouse. So Milhouse has to run into the comic book store and he has to pee.
I love this segment because Comic Book Guy is just such a needless asshole.
He's just needlessly a jerk.
It's so true. So many guys that own collectible stores, present company excluded, but so many guys that own comic book stores or trading card stores or video game shops are just fucking annoying assholes.
Yeah.
And
this small child runs in. He's like, oh, I really have to pee. Can I please just use your bathroom? He's like, no, it's for paying customers only.
Yeah, they're just fucking repugnant, like ignorant, it's just super egotistical assholes that are just mean for absolutely no fucking reason, And I like this idea that like it's only for paying customers.
Yeah, so then the gag is he's forced to buy something, and
then
Kirk comes in. He's like, Millhouse, why are you buying like?
I thought you had to use the washroom. Why are you buying comics? And then he doesn't even get to take.
Like,
you may take the boy. Our transaction is concluded.
Yeah, scams in another words.
Scams Millhouse.
It's okay. Again,
what he buys is funny. He buys like the Hamburglar comic, and then he's like, you may. He's like. You may buy this Hamburglar comic. The puzzle has already been solved.
Yes, yeah. Then we're back again to the fucking Pulp Fiction parody. They're now
because now they go into
Herman's shop, bathroom, and where the ball gag like rape torture scene.
But I love the
Pulp
fact
Fiction.
that Kirk, he's like,
yeah, he's like,
this used to be a pet store.
This used to be a pet store.
Kid.
Yeah, like.
Nice store. When I was a kid, this used to be a pet store. Yeah. Right over there against that wall, there was the cutest little...
Get in the corner.
Herman pulls the shotgun.
Yeah, pulls the gun on him.
I like that, the tension is just so thick.
Yeah.
And, I'd love that scene.
And then Millhouse just knocks him out with
the mace.
The mace.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Then we cut back again to Lisa's hair. She's now at the barber. We've got the barber character back.
The insane barber.
The insane barber.
So sometimes that barber character, I don't know what episode this is, but do you remember when Bart's desperate for money and he's trying to get a job? There's one of the funniest gags is he's sweeping hair because Marge is like, the boy is so desperate for money because that guy he's like one of the local barbers that does everyone's hair, and she's like, the boy is so desperate for money, he needs a job, and he's like, oh, send him around, I'll give him some work, sweeping up hair, and then Bart so then Bart works there for like a week, and then he hands him a paycheck, and he opens it up and he's like, hair? You're paying me in hair? And he's like, oh, yeah.
Hair? You're paying me in hair?
That is one of the funniest, just needlessly, they made him just needlessly crazy.
Needlessly insane.
Yeah.
Well, that's not in this
No,
episode.
I know, but it is that barber, yeah.
Yeah.
But sorry, I don't know what episode that is. I think it's the one where, it might even be 3 Men in a Comic, actually.
I don't remember. Yeah.
I was actually surprised 3 Men in a Comic wasn't on your top 10.
Yeah.
Because I could see you loving as such a huge comic guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That might
And that is a
up.
brilliant episode.
So then the barber fixes her hair. She gets a new hairdo. And then she walks out. Nelson laughs. Ha ha. Now we get, this is the second moment for me. So there's
third for me, but yes.
Third for you. I don't care
for the tall man character.
Yeah, I don't care for the Pulp Fiction thing. I think it's a little stale. Steamed hams, fucking 11 out of 10, gold, pure gold. And this is pure gold. This has been quoted by me eternally. My friends and I, my close friends, we do the tall man voice, that kind of thing. But Nelson has the ha ha at a tall man driving in a small Volkswagen car.
It's the first time.
Do you find something comical about my appearance?
This was the only vehicle that I could afford.
Yeah.
This is the first.
This is the largest automobile that I can afford.
It's the first time that Nelson finally gets his comeuppance.
Yes.
Because one of the running gag is Nelson always going ha ha at other people's misfortune.
This is
this is the perfect tail end of the episode.
Well,
the way this works.
Yeah.
Well, then the Frank.
It goes on. But okay, so then he pulls Nelson's pants down.
And makes him march.
No, march.
And the entire town laughs at Nelson.
Let's laugh at him. Yeah.
Now march. Hey, everybody, look at this. It's that boy who laughs at everyone. Let's laugh at him. Wave to the people. Blow them kisses.
Hey, everyone.
Wave at the
It's
people.
the boy that laughs at everybody. Let's laugh at him.
Wave at the people. Blow them kisses. He starts crying.
Now, in reality, if that were an actual like child, it would be pretty horrifying.
Oh,
but,
yeah, it would be
but
horrifying.
the fact that Nelson as a cartoon character has been such a shit the entire series.
It's been built up. We know who Nelson is.
It's brilliant. It's brilliant. It's such a good payoff.
So then we cut back to Bart and Milhouse on the freeway again. It's like, everyone's got a story to tell. There's just not enough time to tell them all. And then as it's slowly fading to black, Dr. Frank runs up and he's got his...
Oh, my God.
Oh, my God.
Go ahead and keep going. I'll fix that.
So Frank runs up and he's got his... I was going to have a segment too. So the gag that they ran out of time. And then he's got Professor Frank makes you laugh. It makes you think. And then we
I'm going to kill that monkey.
Yeah.
You're nuts. I don't know, man. I didn't hear a lot of meh.
That monkey's going to pay.
That meh.
And then the episode ends. So episode ends very strong. Has 2 or 3 absolutely iconic moments. But otherwise, most of the episode, like the majority of the runtime,
I can't believe this is on an episode you skip. I didn't hear a lot of meh, man. I didn't hear a lot of meh. I heard a lot of highs. Didn't hear a lot of lows.
The framing device of like the time and traveling through vignettes is fun, but yeah, I don't know.
That's a weird. That's
a hot take,
dude.
That's a hot take.
But that's genuinely one where you're like meh, and you don't when you're rewatching.
Well, I'm just trying to.
You don't go for it very often.
I don't go for it very often. Like I'm
surprised that's not like 10.
I would rather. Well, I just had to put the fucking clip shows in, so I just
want to get them out of the way.
Yeah, get them out of the way.
All right.
Okay, in this episode, now that we have with the advent of the internet, I'd rather just YouTube steamed hams, or YouTube the automobile guy. Like, you think there's something funny about my appearance?
I don't know.
Do I want to rewatch this whole episode?
Yeah, I like it as a package.
You want to sit down and watch the whole episode?
I like it as a package. Yeah.
No. I think there's like 2 or 3 moments that I will like Google, but like ultimately as a whole episode, I'm like, whatever.
Just a sad little man over there in his own little world, just bitter against the world.
Steamed hams.
No. All right. Anyways.
All right. So that was
the Aurora Borealis.
Aurora Borealis. This time of day, in this part of the country, localized
entirely within your kitchen. Yes.
May I see it?
No. Yeah. Anyways.
Well, Seymour, you're an odd fellow, but you steam a good ham. Yeah.
Brilliant. Okay. Now on to a real pick here.